Testing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. No, it's not my birthday yet.
It's for Grandpa. Grandpa Dean. Happy birthday, Grandpa Dean.
Happy birthday to you.
It's basketball skills.
To be confident and never to be afraid to speak up or to talk to strangers. Dad talks to everybody everywhere, and that has made that a lot easier for me in my life.
Dad has taught me how to work hard.
I love you, Dad. Thank you for helping me learn to be honest with you and Mom, and honest with myself.
He's taught me many lessons, and it's just great that I can always talk to him and ask him, how does the engine work or something, and he'll tell me how it works.
How an engine works.
To love and respect your wife. And if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, so Daddy's going to make Mama happy tonight. He exemplifies that. He loves our mom and is a wonderful example of doing all that he can to be a good husband and father. That's awesome.
How to make jerky.
Things that I've learned from my dad include stick-to-itiveness. Hang in there, keep working at it, you can do it. Don't give up, don't quit out from wrestling when you don't enjoy it. Stick through the end of the season.
Not to quit when things get hard.
An important lesson that you taught me at a very young age was the importance of finishing what I start. And I think that this lesson was very applicable when it came to basketball and me and coaches and education. And it has followed me through life, through my short little life. And I'm very grateful for this lesson, and I'm grateful that you didn't let me quit when I wanted to when I was younger. When things got hard, that you always made me finish out the season, finish what I was doing.
And how to value education.
Also, you helped me to take responsibility.
He has taught me that Saturdays are for cleaning the garage and the car.
I learned from Dad what it looks like to be a good friend, a good husband, and a good dad.
To work hard.
He has taught me how to cash a check, deposit a check, and open a credit card.
To always pay your tithing and to be generous.
He's taught me to always be generous and to be a friend to everybody and all types of people.
And be the nicest person you could be to other people.
A good dad knows how to push his kids outside of their comfort zone and help them grow. How to gut a deer.
And to try to look at everything in a positive light.
I've learned from Dad that laughter helps put hard things in perspective. From Dad to trust in Christ and things will work out.
3 words that describe my dad are humorous, radius, and ulna. No, just kidding.
Loving, gentle, and Mormon.
Kind, supportive, and the best. Hilarious, hardworking, very, very generous are the 3 words that I would use to describe Dad.
Smart, funny, and stalwart.
Selfless, fun, and hardworking.
Faithful, diligent, and remarkable. I'll describe my dad.
Is generous, and this is with the hyphen, so it's still technically one word. Tender-hearted, and honey badger. And tender-hearted because he can never say goodbye to you because he'll have a little tear in his eye, so he'll just say bye and run away because it's too hard to have a little tear. And generous is because he'll help everybody. He always leaves us little presents in the gas tank and in the toilet paper roll. Even when we don't ask for it, even when we tell him no, 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 he still does it. So I love my dad. Happy birthday, Dad.
He, of course, is funny. His humor is legendary. But he loves to make people smile, and he has the gift of generous giving. And to make people happy and to help them is an art, it's a hunt, and he enjoys it so genuinely. It's remarkable.
Thank you so much for taking me fishing and being a good dad, and happy birthday.
He's always there for me and supportive, and he helps me do what I like to do.
What's your favorite thing about Grandpa, Hiram?
I love him.
You love him? Why do you love Grandpa Dean? Does he tell you fun stories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
He's very selfless and he wants us to succeed really bad.
Dad has so many things that makes him a very, very special man. He has a lot of different gifts and talents. Those include unique songs and poems like Sam McGee or Faker, 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 Faker. He can always see snakes on the road that no one else can see. And he has a way with his daughters. He was always there to comfort us when we got hormonal. I have lots of memories of just being hormonal and crying on his shoulder. And I'm really grateful for your unique gifts and talents and how hard you've worked for our family. I love you so much, Dad. Thank you for everything.
What makes Dad special? Dad is quite the honey badger. He doesn't really care what people think of him. He will wear his sweats to the gym with his Merrills and doesn't care. He will wear his bloodstained shirt to the movies, doesn't care. He marches to the beat of his own drum and he's confident and he gets things done.
I think Dad is special because he puts his family first. Everything he does revolves around his family, and he's very selfless in that way. He's very motivated at work because he likes to take care of his family and to be a good provider. He has a huge heart. He's just got a heart of gold, and he also is he's one of a kind. There's no one else like my dad, and it's really fun to meet with my friends and other people around, and they say, "Oh, I have a Dean Mortenson story," and they're always fun and entertaining and heartwarming. So I'm very proud to be a son of Dean Mortenson because he's one of a kind. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
When I think about my life and my many blessings, which are very many, ranked high among them is the fact that I have Dean Mortenson as my dad. It is remarkable to me, and It is a lot of fun, and I'm just forever grateful that that will forever be true. He will forever be my dad. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
My last thing is to say to you is happy birthday, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I hope you know how many people and love and support you. I support you. A big part of why I'm doing our diet is not for my tummy, but because I love and support you. So happy birthday, and I love you.
Hey Dean, happy birthday. I just wanted to tell you how much I love you, and if it makes you feel any better, remember I'll always be older than you. Anyway, thank you for being a great brother. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for helping out with my family so much. One of my fondest memories is of when you gave me the Lumina. Remember the white Lumina? That really helped us out a lot. Thank you for taking care of our teeth and all the stuff you've done for Julia. Anyway, I love you so much. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dean.
Hello. My cherished memory of Dad was at my wedding. I had pre-ordered the wedding cake to come from the Provo Bakery, and I had set it up all the way in June, and we were getting married in August. And I got a good deal on it. I sent them pictures that I drew of how I wanted it to look, and I got a good deal, but they wouldn't deliver it to our reception place in Pleasant Grove. So someone would have to go and pick it up from Provo Bakery. And Provo Bakery closed at 4 p.m. on Saturday. So Dad volunteered for the task. I wasn't so confident that he would cherish the cake as I would, but he went anyways. Faith went with him to assist. And I was pretty nervous about him getting the cake because it was 4-tiered and it could slosh around in the back of the car, get all messed up. Anyways, so he left at like 3, hadn't come back, and it was 5, and the reception started at 6. And I was getting a little anxious, and I wasn't trusting in my dad that he could do the job. And finally he arrived with a chocolate sheet cake from like a grocery store bakery. That he had bought a squeezy thing of frosting and written on the cake, "Happy Bar Mitzvah, Mary and Spencer," in his own squeezy frosting handwriting. And he said, "Mary, I'm so sorry, but something happened to your cake, and this one will have to do." And it was very funny. And then we looked over, and the cake was the real wedding cake was over there. Beautiful, perfect. Dad did fine. And it actually got eaten pretty quick, and Dad ate a lot of the chocolate cake because he liked chocolate better than the vanilla one. It was very funny, and we all laughed, and it was a good comic relief to a stressful day.
Here you go.
Happy birthday, Dean. This is your mother and your father. We love you, and all the memories we have of you are just all so special. We couldn't think of one special one, except maybe Craig could think of one.
I can think of a few, starting with when we used to go to deer hunting when you were young, and you're sitting on top of the mountain when a deer passed through, and about 4 deer ran past you, and you shot and knocked one down, and then you shot some more times, and we went up there and found a deer dead on the way, and another one 50 yards up.
A cherished memory I have of Dad is all the times we've gone fishing together, because even though we sometimes argue over the right way to fish, it always brings us closer together.
Hey, Dean. Happy birthday. You're always going to be older than me, so there. So we've been reminiscing about memories of you, and one memory I have is when we were younger, we were teenagers, and the phone would ring and you would get it, and it would be from me. So that was back in the day when you actually had to get up and pick up the phone off the wall. Well, you would put it down on the counter and come and sit on me and say, "The phone's for you," and you would sit on me, and I couldn't get up. And we would just yell at each other, and I'd yell at the phone, and you'd yell, and he would never let me up until finally I would get up, but the person who called was not there anymore. So that's one of the memories I had of you, being a big brother. So happy birthday.
Too bad I'm not invited. Okay, Dean, this is another memory we've been remembering. You used to think you were the best driver that ever drove in Denver, that you wrecked every car we ever owned.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth. We've been reminiscing. We were just thinking about the time when you and I think it was Michael Banks wanted to go camping up in the field, and your brother Peter kept trying to follow you, and you kept bringing him back, and he kept following you. So you brought him back and tied him to the tree and went on your way to camp. And when I went out, there was poor Peter tied to the tree, and I had to get him loose. That's what we were remembering. And now Patty's going to tell you what she remembers about you being her big brother.
Last summer we went on a hayride, and I was driving the four-wheeler with Dean behind me, and we went through a little stream up on their hill, and he called it the River of Happiness and Despair. And then we got stuck, and we had to try to push, try to get unstuck and get up the hill on the other side of the river. We had to push the four-wheeler and try to get it unstuck. And he called it the River of Happiness or Despair, because you could either get through easily or you can get just stuck in the mud. So he called it that, and it was hilarious. So we wanted to wish Uncle Dean a happy birthday, and we love him and we love his stories and all the fun experiences we had with him. Happy birthday, Uncle Dean!
He's going to press all that out.
I have many wonderful memories of Dean. I first met Dean when I was 5 years old, and I remember just inside my parents' doorway him picking me up and pressing me against the ceiling over his head, and I thought he was the strongest man in the whole world. He taught me how to drive when I was 14 in his old truck, drive a stick shift coming back from a father-son outing, and Peter and Ben were in the back seat banging their head against the hard plastic backing as I was popping the clutch. And I remember him taking me fishing with his boys on Yellowstone Lake one day. That was a great memory. I remember ice fishing with him and Eric, and at the end of our ice fishing trip, we all three of us tinkled in the snow, and I could tinkle way farther than either of them because I was little. I remember later having Ben challenge me to see if Ben could tinkle farther than me, and he could. I wasn't planning to share that one. He taught me the laws of buoyancy in the Great Salt Lake. He told me that when I was a teenager, he said, I wish that when I was in high school, I had been more brave and asked out girls that I was scared to ask out, and I remembered that, and I asked out some girls that I was scared to ask out in high school, and I'm glad that I did. And I remember his spiritual side. I'll always remember going to Charity's baptism and confirmation and hearing the blessing that he gave his daughter on that day. But one memory that I always look back on and smile about is when he was in Nebraska, and I was still very young, and he pulled over at the side of the road one afternoon, because he saw a deer in the distance, and he got out his gun, and from kind of the side of the road, he shot the deer. And he thought that he knew the owner of the land, but he didn't, or if it was public land, he just wasn't sure. So he shot the deer, And I'm not sure all the reasons, but probably because he didn't want to get caught. He didn't go get the deer at that time. And we went back at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and there was a full moon. And it was the first time that I'd seen a deer be gutted. And I remember watching him gut the deer in the moonlight with the silvery light of the moon shining off the deer guts and everything else that he left in the field as we hauled the deer 100 yards back to the car. And that's a memory that I will always remember and treasure. Happy birthday, Dean.
Happy birthday, Dad. So a couple of my favorite memories are Dad actually helped me learn to love hunting. I didn't really like it. I was a city boy who always wanted to go, but we've been on tons of hunting adventures, which I've really loved, and also going up to Alaska to go fishing. But one of my favorite memories is one of the semesters, Mary and I were in a physical science class, I remember, and we actually planned to surprise the other kids and go to Disneyland.
Disney World.
Disney World.
For their spring break.
So it's a little trick. So we flew out a red-eye flight to go surprise the kids. And it was a super fun experience. We hid in the car and had the kids come out to get breakfast, what they thought was breakfast, but it was really us in the car. It was a really fun experience. So I really loved how generous Dean can be and how loving and thoughtful he can be. Have a great birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad!
One of my favorite memories with Dad was definitely going to Disneyland when we were little girls. Mom was having another baby, and so we needed to get out of the house, and so what better place to go than Disneyland? And Dad would dress us all up in matching outfits so that he wouldn't lose us, and we would just have a fun time. And I remember every single time we've been to anything Disney, Dad turns into a little boy, and I think that's really cute, and I really love that. But even as much as I love going to Disneyland with you, Dad, I have very fond memories of taking the garbage to your office. You would always say, "Oh, I need help taking the garbage out to my office." And we always knew you didn't need help. You just wanted to spend some extra time with us. And I'm grateful for those times and for those memories. I love you.
Hey Dean, happy birthday! I was just thinking, all those years I was single, how often you gave me the advice, you gotta bat your eyes like this, you gotta pucker up your lips like this. And I finally listened, and I found my true love. So thanks for preparing me for my happy marriage.
Thanks, Dean.
And also thanks for being the first one to get our family to Disneyland and Disney World. That was all you, and it brought us so much happiness. That's it. Happy birthday. We love you.
Recording.
Happy birthday, Dean. We are so lucky to have your spice and wisdom as part of our family. We love and appreciate you. What would we do without you? We remember memories of Nauvoo, sleeping in our underwear because it was so hot.
And our first trip to the Disney World with you and all the kids.
And your auctioneering and family reunions. We just couldn't live without you.
Without that, we just never would have a successful auction.
But the best story is the mixed up bed story, where you went down to bed at our house early, but went to the wrong bedroom. And when Dave and I went down to go to bed, you were all snuggled up tight under the covers in our bed. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, we love you. Have a happy birthday.
And we would him reading us 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I remember my very first time meeting you last year, right before the Motown Christmas concert. And we said hello, and you just scooped me up into this great big bear hug. And every time I see you, you just scoop me up and pull me tight, and I just feel so loved. And I think that one of your gifts is that you just make people feel so loved and accepted and warmly welcomed when they're around you. One of my favorite memories is when I went up to Bozeman for the first time, and you kidnapped Peter and I and took you with you to run errands around Bozeman, and we went and bought the big green egg and loaded that into your truck, and you showed us around town and took us to your dental office, and it was just such a fun afternoon, and to be able to get to know you and see Bozeman and enjoy the holiday season. I hope you have such a wonderful birthday. I love you.
Dean, we love you so much, and I want to tell you my favorite memory, I guess, would have to be when we went, remember that time we went fishing, and we went to Doc Warner's. Right next to Doc Warner's there was a bay, so Ephraim and I and Eliza and Karina and Faith, and we were all fishing there, and it was your idea, and so that's why we pulled the biggest halibut of the whole entire trip out in that spot. And I just remember yelling back and forth and just having the time of our lives, and honestly, I can't tell you how much fun and excitement you bring to every single event possible on Earth. And I look up to you and feel like I could ask you for advice in anything, and you've just been such an awesome, I feel like I have another father, and I just love the many memories that we make. But Faith only gave me 60 seconds for this video, so love you, hope you have a good birthday.
My 1-minute video of my memories of Dean.